Hey guys, it's Hannah here. I've had some requests to show you guys my brush collection and how I store my brushes. So I decided to do that today. I actually have 3 containers in which I store my brushes that are on my new desk. And I finally have a way to store them right, so I'm going to show you. This is a pot plant that I got from IKEA. It was about a plant pot, not a pot plant. The pot for the plant to go in. And I think it was about $2. I have grabbed 4, but I'm only using 3 of them. So this is what it looks like with my brushes in them, and I have it in 3 sets: and eye brushes, my Real Techniques and Eco Tools brushes, and then these are my other brushes. So what I have in the actual containers, as you can see, I have an empty one here that's going to be used if I ever need more brushes, but I just have some pebbles that I got from IKEA. I think it was like $5 for this big bag, and basically I used the whole bag in filling all 4 of them up. So I just filled it up a bit. And then on top of those, to actually stick the brushes in so that they're actually high enough up that I can see them, I have these little stone crystal things. I'm not actually sure what they are. There's something about a risk of colour rub off. And basically, those, again, from IKEA, they say this is their name. And they're just some kind of crystal stones that I've put in so that they're smaller so that the brushes actually stick in them properly and stand up. And these were, again, pretty cheap. I grabbed 3 of these, and in the 3 containers I've used up 2 bottles of these. So that is what I store my brushes in. So let's go through the brushes that I actually have. This is my non-branded brushes container, which I just showed you. And I'll go through the brushes that are in it. They are dirty because I have used them today and I haven't spot cleaned them yet, but yeah, let's get started. The first thing in this pot is the e.l.f. powder brush. This is the mineral powder brush that I got from Melissa. It's super soft and I really like it. And then also my other e.l.f. brush that I have is the e.l.f. powder brush from the studio line, which is the flat top brush. This pot I also have my Miraness brushes. I have my foundation brush from Miraness, the blush brush which I used for contouring because it is very thin. I have my powder brush from Miraness, which I actually think is really nice for blush. It's a little bit big, but it's actually really nice for blush. I have my NP Set blush contour brush, which I use for blush and what I use to blend out my contour. I have my Bare Minerals Flawless Face Brush, which I actually haven't used yet. But I actually think the e.l.f. brush is softer than this. I have my Eve Pearl 110 fan brush, which I love for highlighting just right here. It's really, really nice. Then I have the brushes I got from iMatch, which kind of started this whole everyone wanting to see my brush collection. I have the Royal & Langnickel Silk Pro SM Stipple BC255, which is a small stipple brush that I intended to get for highlighting, which again I haven't used yet. This is the only one I actually haven't used. I have the Bdellium Tools 965 brush, and this is a geofiber brush that I used for my blush today, and it applied my pigmented blush really, really nicely. You can actually see it in person, but not on camera, obviously. Then I have the Bdellium Tools 955, which is a duo fibre brush, and I use this for my Chanel cream bronzer all over my face, and this applied it so well. I really like this. And then I have my Haku Hodo brush, which again I don't order these, and this is what I use to apply powder contour over my cream, and it is the softest brush ever. The next pot of brushes I have is my Real Techniques and Eco Tools brushes. These ones are a bit harder to stand up, especially the ones that have the flat bottoms. They don't sit in as well, but that's alright, they still fit in alright. So let's just start with the Real Techniques brushes. This is my Real Techniques blush brush, my Real Techniques butting brush, my Real Techniques Expert face brush. I use both of these for foundation. I use this for all over powdering. My Real Techniques setting brush, which I use with loose powder under my eye, usually my Tarte Amazonian clay powder. My Real Techniques stippling brush, I really like this for cream blush. It applies it dense enough to see the colour, but light enough so that it's not clown cheeks. I have my Real Techniques Essential Foundation Brush, and I actually use this to apply concealer around my nose and under my eye, just kind of applying it in a large area. But if I'm applying a smaller amount around like the real small areas of my nose, I use the pointed foundation brush just to get in here really nicely, and then of course under my eyes. If I use the brush for under my eyes, I usually use something else, which I will mention as well. My last two brushes from Real Techniques for face are the Expert Face Brush. I use this for powder blush, and it's really pretty if it's not a super pigmented blush. This applies it really nicely. And then of course my contour brush, which I did use Holy Grail for contouring. If I do want a deep, like a dark contour, I will use this instead of the Hakuhodo, but I used it for highlighting today. And then my Eco Tools face brushes, I have the foundation brush, I believe it's called. And again, I use these kind of brushes to pat in concealer under my eyes or somewhere where I want a really thick coverage of concealer. I have this brush, which I believe is their powder brush. I don't know, I got this in a set and they don't actually say what they are on it. This is really nice, I think. All over face bronzing and blush, obviously. And then this is the, I think it's the large eyeshadow brush, but I think this is way too large for your eye. It's meant to be like a sweep all over your eye. This is another one for setting under your eye and setting select areas of your concealer with powder. And the last pot of brushes I have is my eye brushes, and I have a lot of different brands of eye brushes. And yeah, so I'm just going to get started and randomly, actually no, I'll start with a couple of things. I'm missing one. So first I have a lash and brow groomer, and then another one that I use to, this is like the thing that you comb through your lashes with, and it has a spoolie on the other end. And I have two of these and I don't know where the other one's disappeared to. But these are from Miraness. Here it is. There's the other one. Sticking with Miraness, I have the crease brush, which is this tiny little brush here, which is more for applying product to the crease and outer V. Really precisely, it's really nice, and I like it for smudging under the lower lash line. I have the eyeliner brush, which I love for applying gel liner to the tight line. And then if I want a thick line, I like using it for gel eyeliner on the top lid. I have the smudge brush. I don't know what this is going to smudge, but it's nice for, because it's very, very dense. I like it for packing on colour or using a cream base. And then there is the eye contour brush, which I actually use for smudging or applying product to the outer corner of the eye. I'm not a fan of the Miraness eye brushes that much, but they're not my favourite, and I wouldn't really recommend them unless you kind of want more kind of unique brushes. Ooh, this is not meant to be in here. This is the Eco Tools concealer brush, which I use for around my nose, which was meant to go in the other pot. Okay, put that back in there. The Sigma, I have the Sigma E25 in a little short, it was like a free gift with purchase, and this is meant to be a dupe for the MAC 217. It's really nice for applying colour to the crease and then move it. So you apply colour this way and then turn it on the side and blend it out. I have the Sigma E60 large shader, which I use to apply colour all over the lid. The Sigma E35 tapered blending, which is my favourite blending brush. I love it. If I want more of a blended out look, so like blending all the way up to the crease, I use the E40 tapered blending brush because this is kind of more, a lot looser, so it kind of blends it out, like, it blends it out more, so it kind of like covers a larger area quicker. And the Sigma Large Fluff, which is great for under the brow bone, all over the lid, and a colour kind of in just above the crease. I don't know, it's really nice. It's kind of a strange brush to have. It's not something I recommend if you're starting out, but kind of for it's actually really nice to apply highlight on the face as well. But that's that brush. It's the E50, if I didn't mention that. Kind of some random brushes. Oh, sorry, I know the Sigma E30 pencil brush, which I inner corner, brow bone, outer V, and smudging. I really need another pencil brush. Kind of random brushes. I have the Eco Tools small shader, which I apply colour onto the kind of middle part of my eye, like the inner third of my eye. But it's kind of really small. So I went to get a larger one, and I ended up getting one that's pretty much the exact same size at IMAX, and this is the small eyeshadow pure staple brush from Designer Makeup Tools, and it's pretty much the exact same size, which is kind of pointless that I went and got that one. But I wanted a larger shader, smaller shader brush than my large shader, but a large brush from this one, and I went on Sunday and everything else was sold out. So I picked up this one thinking it was bigger than this, but it wasn't. Also from Designer Makeup Tools is the Special Shader Ultra Mix Brush, and it is just kind of what I wanted to be another dupe for the 217, but it's kind of got to fluff out a little bit. I used it to kind of blend out my eye look today, and I didn't really like it as much as I thought I would. I need it to kind of be used a bit more. From Royal & Langnickel, I believe, I picked up an angled, no, it must be from Designer Makeup Tools. It's just an angled brush to apply product to the outer V really nicely, and it's just a shader brush. And then a random brush, which I think might be, I got it from Gloss. So basically I wanted another one of these size brushes for packing on colour, but I didn't grab one the right size. So, because this is kind of like cheap, and I wanted another one because I use it so much, but I didn't get another one this size. But I really do like this one. If you can find a shader brush this size, I think it's a perfect size to start out with. I have two Real Techniques eye brushes, well, brushes that I use for the eyes. I have the detail brush, which I use to apply powder shadow right here and into the corner and crease. If someone has really small eyelids and you want to actually add a crease but not like add it too high, I use this on Erin, who has really small eyelids. I put this in her crease to apply a colour and blend it out, and then she has a defined crease, not a cut crease. If I applied it on me, I'd have a cut crease, but if you have smaller eyes, it applies it, and then if you blend it out, you can have a crease colour without it kind of going all the way up to the brow bone, which I really prefer because I don't like colour going all the way up there. And then this is the Real Techniques Domed Shadow Brush. This is a really useful brush. I was kind of iffy about it because it's so kind of like it's kind of like tapered, and it's like, it's a weird kind of brush. It's not like a packing on shadow brush like this one, but it's not as fluffy as this one, like to blend out. So, but actually with the two combined, it actually applies and blends out in the same motion. So if I apply a colour to the crease and smooth it in circles, it blends it out in the same motion, which is really nice if you want something quick and easy. Shadow on the lid and then kind of blend it out. So you just apply the colour and then blend it out. So you just go across and up. If you'd like to see a tutorial just using this brush on my eye, sure, leave a comment down below and I'll try and show you a look with this using one brush. And then I have my liner brushes that aren't from Erin. This is the Everyday Minerals pointed liner brush that I bent. It bent and is now funny, and I really love this to apply gel liner really precisely. But now it's bent and I need to grab another one, but it's really cheap. I got it off iHerb. And I grabbed the Bdellium 708 bent pointed liner brush to apply a really tiny gel liner, because I really wanted a pointed one, because as you can see I only had angled. Kabuki brushes, I have one in my bag that's from BYS that I just have. But then I have my Royal & Langnickel flat top kabuki. I have my Miraness kabuki brush, which is like a retractable one, which is actually really nice. I really like it, but I hate watching it because it feels like it gets so gross. I don't like it. I have my Manicare blending sponge and my Pure Beauty blender. So those are all my makeup brushes and other makeup. If you guys want to see a specific video on a particular brush or a review on a particular brush or range, let me know in the comments down below. Also, leave me a comment on any other videos you'd like to see, and yeah, please subscribe if you haven't, like this video if you've liked it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!